now that we've gotten through the basic stances and kind of footwork and hand positions that they use in Krav Maga, next we're going to move into some basic drills that are commonly utilized in Krav Maga. Okay, so Cedric, please, it's your show.
Yes, one drill, one philosophy that we like to teach in our class is a term called Retzev, which basically means constant combat pressure. One thing I always tell my students is we need to always constantly think about resetting this person's thought process. And the only way I can do that is by inflicting pain to this person. And Retzev is one drill, one tool that we utilize to do that. I'm constantly applying pressure, constantly distracting this person to get their mind off of attacking me. I want his mind to be on retreating, not advancing towards me.
Okay, it's kind of like how when you watch a boxing match, right? And you see one guy's just getting pummeled and all he's doing is just kind of falling back like that, right?
Correct. Exactly.
He can't attack because he's too busy defending himself.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Gotcha.
But the thing about Retzev is there's no breaks. So as soon as this hand touches your face, this hand is right behind it and coming through. It's almost like hitting a speed bag, but again, your elbows are down. We'll get into that here in a second. The other thing I like to tell my students is you always have to imagine your opponent as a big spring. If I were to take Chuck and compress him down into a spring, and I were to keep pressure on him with both my hands, I'd be okay. But what happens the second I remove one hand? He's going to blow back in my face, and then the fight's going to be on.
Which you also see in boxing a lot.
Exactly.
You know, as soon as the pressure lets up, boom, the other guy retakes the tempo, retakes the energy.
Yes, exactly. So right now, Justin is going to help me demonstrate a drill real quick.
Okay, so before we start, Justin, I need to know what's up with this giant head that's on your hand here.
It's a great way for people to practice on something that's realistic, but yet your partner doesn't get hurt. In Krav Maga, we use a lot of real techniques, eye gouges and things like that. You wouldn't have a training partner if you did eye gouges on each other all day. So this works a little better.
Very true. You'd be running through training partners pretty prolifically there.
Right. And you'll see at the end of this drill, I'm gonna end my drill with an ear smash, eye gouge to a headbutt, and I'm gonna finish them off with an elbow to the face. When we do this specific drill, we always want to end with some type of combative like that, okay? The constant combat pressure, I need to end this fight. How am I gonna end it? Just by dominating his brain, overwhelming his senses, and just, crushing his face if I have to.
Okay.
All right? So, the drill, again, I'm in my good fighting stance. My hands are up. All right, my elbows are in. And all I'm going to do is keep applying constant pressure, combat pressure to this person, resetting his mind. I can either use fists or I can use palms. Either is acceptable. Does not matter. Okay? Just for the sake of this drill, I'm just going to use palms real quick. Okay? So as I do this, Justin's going to move backwards a little bit.
Okay,
and at the end,
out as well.
Yep. And at the end, like I said, I'm going to finish it with the ear smash, eye gouge, headbutt to the elbow. Okay? So, Retzev.
Okay. All right, well, I guess now it's my turn to try.
All right.
Okay, so let's see. So starting off with the feet, boom, right at the arch, shoulder and a half wide, a little bit back, ball of the foot, arms up. And then all I'm doing, I'm not worrying too much about using shoulders and hips or anything like that. I'm just going at it.
It's just going at it. You're more about resetting his thought process.
Okay. All right, let's give it a shot.
Good.
Something like that?
Something like that. Very
Okay.
nice.
Any comments?
I don't know if Justin has anything to add to that, but
I'd say the biggest thing is you're constantly applying that pressure. That's sometimes hard because your movement and things are dynamic in real life. So keeping that pressure on is key. Sometimes it's not about the most powerful knockout punch. It's about the constant pressure to keep that person backing up and getting away.
Okay.
And then the end solution is that ear smash, headbutt, eye gouge, something else to finish this off and then escape.
Okay, let me try that slowly just one more time. So it's ear smash, eye gouge, headbutt. Now when you go for that headbutt, where are you aiming with? You're aiming to hit the forehead, but where on the head are you aiming for?
that's a very good question. There's debate on the headbutt. How we teach our students to headbutt, when I do this, I'm not whipping my head into somebody because that causes damage to me. My headbutt, first of all, my ear smash, my hands are cupped, right? I want to get that cupping sensation, that air pressure, that overblasted air pressure. I want that going inside their eardrums.
Yep.
The eye gouge, I'm just taking my thumb and I'm trying to put it behind their eye.
Okay.
Just one thumb because I need the counter pressure back here.
Okay, so
To
the
get
eye gouge,
pressure.
the
This
eye
is
gouge
long.
is just with one eye.
Yes, because I would like to get, because after I do my ear smash, I'm going to rotate in one hand so I can get the counter pressure and then thumb behind the eye. And I'm actually going to tilt his head back to do that.
Okay.
Okay, then when I do my headbutt, I'm using my core and I'm coming down, smashing his nose into the bridge. If I were to have hair, it would be around my hairline. Here, like this. All right, I'm not whipping, it's here. And then from here, I can apply the elbow either to the face or the throat.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to go through that just one more time quickly. Okay, so from here, let's see, actually we're here. You're going to cup your hands, boom, with the pressure. I'm going to go there one more time. I don't think I quite hit it there. So we're there, and then with the hands cupped, boom, over the ears.
Correct.
Then from there, we're going to go for the eye gouge. This one rotates around in the back. This one goes to just the inside of the eye. And then I'm going to use this backhand to create counter pressure, and you're going to tilt his head in like that as you're digging your thumb into his eye.
Correct.
Okay? Then after that, next you're going to swing back to here.
Or you don't have to, you can maintain that. You can maintain that and do a headbutt from there.
And then from there, I just drop using my core.
You're using your core,
And
boom,
with
just like that.
And then from there, elbow, finish with the
Good.
elbow.
Good job.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so that last drill was called Retzev.
Retzev.
Okay, Retzev.
Yes.
Okay. So, and I noticed you've got a belt here for the next drill. So what are we
Yes.
going to be doing for this?
This is a traditional martial arts belt here. Okay, that will do. This is a continuation of the Retzev drill. All I'm going to do is I'm going to place this belt around Chuck. He's going to face Justin. All right, now to do the continuation of the Retzev, Chuck is going to apply or try to apply constant combat pressure on that face. My job is to keep him off of that. Go back at it, Chuck. Go back at it, Chuck. Go back at it. Elbows in. Elbows in. And then I'll end it with, as he's going, ear smash, eye gouge, headbutt, elbow. All right, go back at it. Get him, Chuck. Fight through it. Fight through it. Ear smash, eye gouge, headbutt, elbow. So you get the basic idea of that. And it's a decent workout.
Yes.
Now imagine doing that for 2 minutes straight.
Yes. I think one of the things that's interesting about fighting is that you think, when you hear that fighting rounds are only 3 minutes, you think that that's a relatively short amount of time. But when it comes to the actuality of the situation, two or 3 minutes is a very, very long time when you've got your adrenaline rushing, you've got your heart pounding, and everything like that. Now you guys can see I only did that for maybe 30 seconds. And you can already hear how winded I am from that. Okay, so one of the things that these gentlemen mentioned earlier that's really neat about Krav Maga training is that they wear you out with stuff like this before you get into the actual technical training, just to kind of reflect the reality of the situation that you're going to be in, because it's going to be so intense, you're going to be worn out when you actually start fighting.
If you can do a defense technique when you're fatigued in here, in a controlled environment, you should be able to do it out there in the street.
Yes. And again, if for absolutely no other reason, like, this stuff is great for fitness. So I'm like I said, it was only like 30 seconds and it's already winded me. It's pretty intense, pretty cool experience.
Ready for the next drill?
Yes.
All right. All right, for this drill, well, first of all, let me explain what a sprawl is, okay? A sprawl is if Chuck and I are engaged in the fight and I go to shoot on him, he's gonna sprawl to keep me away from him. What a sprawl should look like, if my opponent comes in to shoot on me, all I'm gonna do is throw my hips and my feet back and I'm gonna land on this person. As you can see, I'm on my toes, all right? My head is up off the ground. My elbows are dug into this person's back. That's the goal. My hips are down, I'm on my toes, applying pressure on this person. All right? So, in here when we do this, we do a little bit different because obviously it's a hard floor. What we're gonna do is when I tell you to sprawl, Chuck, I want you to basically do almost like a burpee, but all I'm gonna do is this. My elbows are locked, head is up, I don't want my head on the concrete. This is not a push-up, okay? Elbows locked out, head up, hips down. I'm on my toes. My feet are spread apart.
Okay.
And now all you're gonna do is jump back up into a fighting stance.
Okay.
So every time I say sprawl, that's what you're gonna do.
Okay.
Okay? So for this drill, Chuck, all you're gonna do is straight punches.
Okay.
That's it.
Just boom, boom, boom. Are we talking vertical fist, horizontal fist?
Vertical fist.
Okay.
Vertical fist, straight punches. Now, and then when I take a sprawl, you're gonna sprawl.
Okay.
All right?
I can already tell there's going to be a silence. So,
Ready?
Yep.
Go. Harder, harder. Come on, hit it, hit it. Hit the pad, hit it, hit it. Sprawl. Back up. Punch. Sprawl. Back up. Sprawl. Back up. As soon as you hit the ground, come back up. Keep going. Harder. Hit it, harder, harder. Sprawl. Back up. Sprawl. Back up. Sprawl. Lift your foot, lift your feet, lift your feet. There you go. Come on, hit it harder, hit it harder. Sprawl. Good time.
That is definitely a workout.
And as you can see, this is something that we always talk about in Krav Maga. Being physically fit, mentally strong, and tactically sound.
All right. Okay, so next drill. You said there's going to be a kicking drill, yes?
Yes, in this particular system, there's two types of growing kicks, if you want to call them that. You have a growing kick, which is going to be with your strong leg. If you're right-handed, it's going to be with your right leg. And we have a growing jab, which is going to be with my front leg. With the growing jab, it's almost like a jab with your hands. It's just a speed thing. It's just speed. I'm not worried about power. All I want him to do is that little flinch, because as soon as he does this, I'm exploding in. Okay?
Okay, so it's just like a boxing jab in that you use
Counter.
you use it to either counter and to stop their energy going forward, or you're using it to break their defense so you can go in with something hard and heavy.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's a growing jab. A growing kick is going to be with your strong leg or your back leg. So if you're right-handed, it's going to be with your right leg. In my good fighting stance, I decide he deserves a kick to the groin. Okay? Just like a traditional martial arts kick. I'm leading with my hip first, knee up, boom. Okay, back into a fighting stance. So for this drill, I'm basically going to read what Justin does with this pad. I'm going to start off with growing kicks, okay? And the hammer fist. With hammer fist, it's important, if you notice, I'm not standing here doing this. I'm actually using my entire body. Watch my entire body. Look at my feet. That's where you get the power from, starting from the bottom.
Okay. Now, in an actual kind of street self-defense kind of application, would those hammer fists be towards the face, or would you go ahead and do them towards the chest, just like you're doing on the pad?
I always tell our students, don't go outside of your comfort zone.
Okay.
If somebody's way taller than me, I'm not gonna hammer fist up here. I'm gonna do what's comfortable to me.
Okay.
If it hits you in the chest, hopefully I break your ribs.
Okay. Yeah, or at least knock the wind out of them, right?
Right.
So, okay. All right, so the hammer fists are good right up against the chest.
They could be effective, yes.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. All right, let me go ahead and give it a shot. Okay, so, boom, boom, fighting stance. Then, boom is just a jab, right?
That's the jab. Yep.
Good.
There you go.
Okay.
You're just reading his pad. Whatever the pad does, now hammer fist. Good. Time. Break. Reset. Go. Time. Reset. Time. Break. Good. Good. Good job.
Okay. So, one more question.
Yes.
Now, naturally, just having coming from a martial arts background, as I got into this while I was kicking, I started letting out a little bit of a kiap, just a little bit of that energy release. That I wasn't going for the really loud kind of taekwondo or karate style one, but just the kind of quiet kickboxing one to just let energy out. Now, what is the kind of Krav Maga mentality about kiapping or about using concentration yet?
For Krav Maga, it's more of an intimidation factor. Yes, when you do that, the kiap, whether it be a light one or a heavy one, you're tightening those core muscles. So if somebody is coming with a counter, you're automatically tightening those core muscles. You have that benefit. Other than that, it's more of a psychological thing. In Israel, in the IDF, they train that if I'm shooting at someone and I completely go dry on ammo, what do? I'm just gonna charge you. Okay. It's an intimidation thing.
Okay.
Imagine if you're on the battlefield and you saw someone doing that to you.
Okay. Yeah, so it's kind of like a sensory overload.
Correct.
Kind of thing. You just freak them out.
Right.
Okay. So these are the kind of drills that you would be doing in a typical Krav Maga class. As you know, these gentlemen mentioned earlier, basically to just use that to just really, really wear you out before you get into the actual technical training. So now that I am plenty worn out, let's get into the actual technical stuff.